All right, now, the first thing I want to talk about is today, Miguel from Sasquatch Theory texted me and said, Celena, I had something personal come up that I have to take care of. Is it okay if we reschedule? So I told Miguel that, okay, that's fine. Anyways, and of course I sent him this, I sent Miguel the still photos, the photos that are really, really still, and you can see every detail, and you can zoom in and look how huge these things are. So, anyways, Miguel has all that stuff, and he's gonna call me back when it's time to, move along. So, anyways, and to have our interview. Okay, so let's go over what I had told y'all before. I'm sorry about being gone for 2 weeks. I had a breakdown on air because I was stressed out to no end. And what I remember, or what I seem to forget, is sometimes it just gets overwhelming. And good grief, you just have to just just do the best you can at dealing with stuff. And so, anyways, so basically what I did was just got overwhelmed and I needed to cry on y'all's shoulder. I hope you don't mind. I just had a little breakdown on air. Anyways, the second thing I wanted to talk to you about was there is this little feller from Canada. I don't know his name yet because when I watch an episode, he is always already talking and all, and he doesn't give his name. So just so that don't happen to me, my name is Celena. Celena Garrett Dunn. I live in Gadsden, Alabama, and I love everybody. Anyways, okay, so but he has a little show called Swan Lake Bigfoot. Y'all, he's the sweetest thing. You have got to Google this man and YouTube his videos. He's just so sweet and kind spoken, and you know I love Oma people, and but he has a little show called Swan Lake Bigfoot, and he goes out there and feeds them and stuff, and it is the sweetest little kind spoken man with a real meek voice, and I enjoy watching him, and it's beautiful scenery. It's so beautiful. Okay, the third thing was the people, anybody that wants to go on tours, just let me know and message me, and I will take you. I will not take you to the address. I want to make sure that that's clear because I respect the people's privacy that all this happened on their property. But I will take you to the road. That I will do. Well, of course, if they're on a piece of property on a road, then you know they're on that road also. So there'll be evidence, and there is. And so, anyway, so just message me if you want to go on a tour and be shown the two roads in Gadsden that I have seen activity, and also the two roads in Piedmont. And so just reach out and tell me. But yeah, Miguel wanted to reschedule. He had said he had something private come up that he needed to take care of as soon as possible, and that he would contact me and set up another interview. So, Sasquatch Theory interviews coming up in a little bit, hopefully in the next few days. But I don't know. I don't want to say a few days. What if he's busy for another couple of weeks? So we're just going to leave that up to Miguel at Sasquatch Theory. Anyways, okay, MK Davis. Y'all, if you watch NV or Realize TV, REALEYES TV, or NV Bigfoot, these are channels that'll blow your mind. Well, I discovered a new one last night. And until they give me a reason not to mention their name, I'm going to give them some recognition. It's called Maximum Fear. And it's a young guy. And he seems to do a good job. And it is the most recent, all the way back to the most impressive Bigfoot footage that people have caught by mistake, of course, and at the spur of the moment. And it'll blow your mind. So you need to look up NV TV Bigfoot and REALEYES Realize and Maximum Fear. Those are some really good channels. And like I said, they've not given me a reason to say otherwise, so I'm going to cheer them on. Anyways, okay, controversial subjects. Let's do this. Okay. First of all, how wonderful it is for me to feel better. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm serious when I say it was so bad that I laid on the couch and just rolled my head over into a garbage can. I didn't have the strength to raise my head and lean to a garbage can or to the restroom. I literally laid on the couch and rolled my head over into a garbage can. It was horrible. So it is so good to be back with y'all and to be sitting here knowing that y'all are behind that screen. Cheek, 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 cheek. Anyways, and to know that I love you so much. Thank you for subscribing and for liking the videos or anything. That means a lot to me. And that'll help in the future. Okay. But what I was going to tell you was the controversial subjects are this. Years and years ago, because he has been out in the woods, boots on the ground for years. I have kept up with this man for years, even when I didn't even really believe, that there was a Bigfoot. Now, I don't care who you are, how many PhDs you have. Let me see. Hey, Sandra, I love you, girl. You're beautiful too, sweetheart. Anyways, but these people that say that there is no Bigfoot, after you see them, you just disregard all those naive statements. Because when they really do prove it, and they will, they are right now. Behind the scenes, they're working and they've got the DNA and they're working really hard to prove that there are. But I do want to tell you, the people that do not believe that Todd Standing's videos of these creatures, of these animals, are not real, I'm telling you, I'm going to be sitting back going, because I know they are, and when you find out in the future, you'll feel the same. But right now, I can't help but say, oh, hey, Deanna, I love you, sweetheart. Lord, I ain't seen Deanna Sullivan in years. I love you, Jackson. I forgot she got married. I'm still picturing us when we're teenagers. Hey, mwah, Sandra and Deanna, mwah, I love you. Anyways, and Mike, if you're there, I love you too, man. Anyways, but today, oh, by the way, when I was sick, Sandra and Mike was amazing. Golly, Pete. Sandra Walker and Mike Walker. They're the ones that brought me Gatorade. They're the ones that brought me water. I mean, right down to medication. I was so sick. And they really took care of me, and I really appreciate that. Oh, Lord, I can't believe, I love you too, Deanna, you sweet thing. I can't believe she's joining us too, Sandra. Anyways, what I was going to tell you was, Todd Standing, I have watched him for years, and he is the kind of person that knew what it took to get out there, and it took a lot of corns on the feet. I mean, walk the ground constantly, camping in horrible situations and just all kind of stuff for him to prove. And y'all, he had a camera that would reach so far. I mean, so far. Well, he finally took some pictures that should appease you. And what does the public do? They get out there and say, them ain't real, them's fake. He did all but admit they're fake. Well, let me just tell you, Todd Standing has caught at least 4 that I know of. There's probably videos I haven't seen. And you can tell that these are not humans. And so y'all need to quit being naive now. Act like you got some sense and come to the conclusion of, if you can sit there and look at a 500-pound gorilla that's this tall, that there's a creature that's taller than that has double that strength. Now, come on. I shouldn't have to tell you that. You have some intelligence to you. So go ahead and use it. Okay, now, so yes, it's controversial, but I do believe Todd Standing's videos are true and real. And what convinced me wasn't in the pictures. What convinced me that Todd Standing's videos were true was when I was 12, 13, I went in an 18-wheeler with my daddy. And my daddy was all strict. I mean, all man, tough man. Sure know how to give some whoopings. Anyways, but he did this. One night we were parked at a truck stop, and I will never forget this. And this is what convinced me about Todd, and I'll tell you why. When me and Daddy was at a truck stop, he said, Celena, I'm going to get in the back of the sleeper, and I'm going to lay down. He said, and you just sit here and try to get some sleep. And he said, just rest, try to sleep. And Daddy crawled back in the back of the sleeper, and I sat in the passenger seat. And of course, his seat was empty. And I just sat there, and he had parked where there was some light coming from the service station at the truck stop. And I'm in my own little world. I was, 12, 13, and I'm just sitting there in my own little world. And the driver's truck door slung open. And a man crawled up Daddy's steps on the driver's side. And he jerked the door open, crawled up the steps, and I mean, he was reaching. He was reaching for me. And I'm smiling because of this. My daddy come out of that... My daddy come out of that sleeper so fast it wasn't even funny, out of a dead sleep. And he said, scat! And of course now, you wouldn't think that would be the word that my tough daddy would use, but he was just woke up. So he said, scat, I got my family in here. And when he did, he used a tone that only a man would use if he was upset or scared. Even though my tough daddy at all times spoke, with a deep voice, and, people took him serious and all that stuff, I knew by my daddy's tone that he just woke up and he said something silly, but that man flew backwards out of that truck. He wasn't about to try to get me then. And of course, my daddy going back to sleep was out of the question. But I'll never forget, even though Daddy said, scat, I got my family in here. And he said it with such, sincerity, but yet loud. And he had just been woke up. So scat wouldn't be the word he would use if Daddy would have been wide awake. Guarantee about that, even before he was saved. But anyways, I just will never forget his tone. It just was a scared tone. And he was loud, and he was trying to get a point across to that man that reached in the truck and almost grabbed me. I mean, that's how serious this was. And Daddy crunked the truck up and got me out of there. And it was scary for both of us, but I'm sure it was more scary for Daddy because I didn't know at that time in my life how serious and mean people are. But anyways, ask me now. So, in one of Todd's videos, Todd is in the dark. He is running a video, and he's standing there and he's watching them take apples. They're doing it one at a time. They're trying to be sneaky, and he has put some apples up on some branches, and he's watching them slowly disappear. Just slowly disappear off those branches. And these Bigfoots are taking them slowly but surely off those branches. And I guess he got so caught up that he didn't know that people like me would be sitting there analyzing every single thing he did. But I was watching Todd standing with an eagle eye, honey. And I was sitting there watching him, and when those things, and you can hear them, when those things growled at him and they kept coming closer and he kept hollering, get back, get back. You could hear him when he wasn't so nervous. When them things got up on him and they let out a big roar and a growl, Todd standing immediately went to that voice that he's out trying to act all tough. He's a guy, he's a man, and he's trying to act all tough, and all of a sudden he goes into, get out of here, like screaming like half woman, half man, like it really scared him. And for Todd to show that on video, that he was so, I guess you could say, caught off guard and really, really scared, and for him to show that on video. But these things, y'all, when you hear their growls and, I mean, how close they are, who wouldn't take off running the other way if they didn't stand there and have an accident on themselves? I mean, who would not take off running the other way. And a lot of people is asking me, I'm finding that's a question that I'm being asked a lot is, Celena, you wasn't scared? I was in a car. You got to remember, I was a good bit away. And what went from a beautiful green meadow to all of a sudden, when I look back up, something black. But more than that, this thing, my God, I cannot express. I think people have a hard time because when it comes to shoulder muscles, I mean, yeah, we've seen all kind of bodybuilder bodies and NFL physiques, and all these things are impressive, but you don't realize that these things have such a strong, big mass of shoulders. It looked like one of those people in the old days. I may have to get back to show you this. Now, don't y'all get jealous over my Jenny Craig. Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to say that name. Don't get jealous over my figure. Anyways, but do you remember those in the old days? They did the torture things by putting like, what do you call those? Not 2x4s, big old huge things of wood. Anyways, and they would hang people's arms over them, and they would make them carry them on their shoulders. In a way that Christ did the cross. I'm not going to lie about it. I mean, look, except for, like I said, I don't know how big that one was. I just know he had suffered so. Lord, I don't want to talk about it. But anyways, okay, so this thing had such mass on it across the shoulders that it was just huge and black. And it almost looked, they're right when they said it don't look like it has a neck, because it's just so huge across through here. And I remember in one of my statements, actually a couple, I said to people, it looked like a big black box was across the shoulder of this thing. That is how big, but of course, right now you probably can't picture. Let's see, what does that say? Charlie is hearing your voice and watch for a few seconds. I love you. Thank you so much for saying that. Hey, Charlie, Aunt Lena loves you. Anyways, but it just had such mass to it. Well, when you can picture what that looks like, and he had already photoed some at this time, y'all, they run a lot like humans. They walk a lot like humans. And so when you're watching them walk, and the only difference is the way that their foot lays and the way that their knees look and the way that their knees mechanically move. It moves opposite of ours. Other than that, if you watch one strolling, you'll think it's a human in a suit. But you've got to pay attention to more detail. You've got to pay attention to the mass. That even if a person from the United States or any other country was to put on a suit, would it fill that suit out like it does? And would it mechanically move like it does? No. Because as a daughter of a seamstress, I'll tell you no. There's been nothing my mother has not made me except for a Bigfoot suit. She's made everything from prom dresses to Halloween costumes, I'm telling you. And I'm telling you, material will bunch. It'll bunch. I mean, so when you're wearing material, it's going to bunch and not fit in the exact right direction, in the right place. And that's what I'm telling you. These things are built like tanks. I mean, and they have the strength of a tank. And so when you are watching one of these things, it's your mind doesn't want to adhere what you're seeing. Your mind just does not want to go there. And even today, I say, nah. And I'm the one that's seen them. I know. And I keep saying, nah. It makes you doubt your own intelligence. It really does. So my whole point of that was to say this. Do not doubt Todd Standing unless your little lazy rumpus wants to get out there and do the boots on the ground work he does. Because believe me, that is years of a body worn. That man has been in the woods for years just to get us the few pictures he has. So don't go. To me, when you put down or don't believe somebody, that says a lot about you, not that person you're not believing. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't even You ain't even give them time to prove what they're trying to prove. And you haven't studied that photo or studied that video in depth like a woman with a tore up knee, like a woman whose back has been broke for years. So I'm telling you right now, go back. Look at these videos. Tell me if the calf muscles that you're seeing on the videos and in the photos are just a costume, when it's just a human being, no Hollywood director that made this film. And you go back and you tell me, okay, I see what she's saying. Because if the truth be told, you'll understand what I'm saying, and that is a lot of people are jealous. And so the first thing they want to do, because they're having a bad day, is to throw out some negativity. Well, honey, you can throw it all you want to me. Or you can keep it. It don't matter to me, because I'm not going to let it affect me. Okay, so we know we got Todd spoke about, and I want to say M.K. Davis. M.K. Davis, if you are listening to my video or if you ever come across it in the future, I want you to take a look at my photos. I want you to see if you can't clear them up for me. I don't know if it was my phone or if it was the day or what or how far I was, but I do want you to see if you can clear some up, because you can see the mama holding the baby and you can see the one leaning, at the end of the tree line. You can see those two standing there, the one that I seen first that scared me to death, with the one that looked like it had antlers hanging off its head. But I would love for M.K. Davis to take a look at my photos and see if he couldn't clear them up, or at least take something out so something else will stand out. You know what I mean? So I do want, if you ever come across this, MK, I do want you to take a look at my pictures. Okay. And my video from the Gadsden State UFO. I'd love for you to take a picture or take a look at that and fix it for me, because it's a video. And that thing goes from staying in one shape to a lot of different shapes. That one right there was weird. But anyways, like I said, when Miguel reached out last night and today, he did reassure me that he's going to reach back out to schedule an interview, and that he had some personal things come up, and he's sorry about canceling the interview today. So they're going to reschedule. Anyways, I wanted to make sure I repeated that. Okay. We done covered what we think is controversial with one. Now let's tackle two more. Okay, I'm not going to name you individually. I'm just going to say, for me to go from thinking that you are humble and awesome to all of a sudden thinking that ain't quite right. And the reason it's not quite right is when I tell you this story, you'll know who you are and that you prejudged. Because if it was you and your family and they were fixing to take your position at a college, they were fixing to take, probably you'd lose everything you've got, because they threatened you and your home and your family to lose your position and everything you've worked so hard for all these years. And just because you kept your mouth quiet on a certain subject does not mean that you do not believe the same way that the person judging you does. You're just protecting your assets and your family. So I think you, and you know who I am if you ever come across my show, you prejudging Jeff Meldrum, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, I think was a very, very judgmental thing to do, because if they would have come and told you you're fixing to lose your job if you do not keep quiet about this subject, then you're going to lose your job and you'll lose your status, tenure, name it. So I think what happened is he believes like we do, and he's proven that time and time and again in his videos. But he is a scientist, he is a teacher, he does have a family, I'm sure he has grandkids. So Dr. Jeff Meldrum, I believe in you, and I think that you were put in a bad spot and you chose to keep it to yourself instead of losing your job and all you've worked hard for. So I am being controversial, and I am getting your goat tonight, because I think that what you did was judged him, and I think you did it too harshly and too quickly. And I will make sure to take you out of one of my videos, or maybe two that I've mentioned you in. Okay, now, at least until you get right with Jesus. All right, let's see. I want to make sure I have all my notes that I'm going across so I don't forget all this stuff. Okay. Okay, I told y'all, and I'm doing this. She didn't ask me to do this. I'm doing this because, first of all, she is a family friend and I think she's awesome. But you know how I told y'all that I love humble people? You can't get more humble than this one. Okay? 10 lost children. Ann Haskin. And y'all, she is the sweetest. Let me see if I can show her picture pretty good. Y'all need to look her up. Ann Haskin. Annhaskin. Annhaskin. Ann Haskin, 10 Lost Children. You have got to check that book out. My goodness. And tell her I referred you. Anyways, all right, let's see. Oh, yeah, I know that this has nothing to do with Bigfooting, but I got to tell you this. Y'all know Brenda Gant, that woman that cooks. I started watching her when she first had one or two just people come on there, just her regular friends. I started watching her when she didn't have two or three people watching her, and I thought she was the sweetest thing since chocolate, girl. Anyways, I just loved her. And so ever since then, I have absolutely said, if I ever go on air for anything, I'm gonna say, y'all, do you not just love Brenda Gant? I just love her. I love the way she talks, the way she carries herself, from cooking in the kitchen to painting, no matter what she's doing. I just love Brenda Gant. Anyways, I just wanted to tell y'all, Brenda Gant is another one of my favorite people. And y'all know when I'm doing this that if I haven't mentioned your name personally, then I'm sorry. Because if you're joining me, or whether you ain't joining me, I still love my friends. So they're very important to me. So Sandra and Deanna and Mike, I'm sure if Sandra's watching me, Mike is. But anyways, and Charlie, don't forget Charlie. But Deanna and Sandra and Mike and Charlie, I love y'all very much. It means the world to me that you have subscribed and that you're watching me. And it just means so much to me. There are no words. You hear me? No words. Okay, now, don't be so easily influenced. That is a big one. Help us, Jesus. I'm fixing to preach. Okay, when I was younger, Lord, that's all I did was get influenced because what do you call it? Followed the leader or whatever. Thank you, Mike and Sandra. I love you. I just got your message that you're both watching. I love y'all too, and Deanna and Charlie. Mwah. Anyways, but that's all I did was I was so easily influenced. I did anything that anybody else did and had no business doing none of it. You hear me? Not 100%. I had no business doing any of it. But I will say this. That goes back to that subject I was telling y'all a while ago. Put in the hours. I can't be boots on the ground right now, but one of these days I'm going out there. I'm telling you. And Lord of mercy, did I tell y'all that I fell on a concrete carport this morning? Help me, Jesus. That messed my knee up. Lord have mercy. And when I started laughing, I caught myself laughing at a friend a couple hours back, and my back started hurt when I was laughing. I said, oh no, tomorrow's not going to be good at all. But I'm going to claim it now. I may be sore, but tomorrow's going to be good. Anyway, so yeah, go back, do your homework. Study these films, study these pictures. When you put in, this is your homework from me. When you have put in 40 hours of looking up Bigfoot videos, sounds, pictures, documentaries, 40 hours, then you can give me your honest opinion of whether you think they're real or not. But first you got to go look at every single video and picture and sound effect that has ever come from the woods of an animal we know it ain't, that has its own language. Anyways, yeah, I'm telling y'all, they're real. But like I said, don't take my word for it. We're talking years of watching. I mean years of analyzing and watching how the body's moving, how much they weigh. I have seen men with nice, nice physiques, okay? I have seen them. They're impressive. Yes, they are. But let me tell you this. Some of the physiques that you see in these pictures and videos could never be a human. Not even a football player, not a bodybuilder. They're just way too massy on their. I'm telling you. I was trying to, you know, make something rhyme, but I don't want you thinking I was just cursing. Anyways, I'm just saying they've got such mass. A human of any kind, football player, bodybuilder, football player, it don't matter who it is, could not fit into the skin of these things. Not some of them, but you'll see what I mean. Just go study it like I told you. Right before I'm through, I hope I get to go through the channels one more time. But just in case, let's cover all the bases. Hang on just a second. Stand by. All right. God, I gotta write backwards. I hate this. I can't write backwards. Do the best you can at reading. All right. NVTB Bigfoot. You just Google these things, or not Google, go on YouTube and look them up. Bigfoot. All right, and realize there actually ain't no TV on the end of that, but you know it's a TV channel. Can anybody see these? Let me see. NVTV Bigfoot and Realize TV, and then Maximum Fear. Y'all, Maximum Fear, I just discovered. And if I'd have known it was out there, I'd have been watching it a long time ago. But yeah, he's a young guy, and he is really, really good and pleasant. He's pleasant to listen to. And you know me, if they feel full of foolishness, as far as being mean or inconsiderate or anything, I'll lose interest really fast. And I haven't lost interest in these 3 channels. So that should tell y'all something. Okay, now, let me see here. Hold my book back up. All right, so we told about Anne and how wonderful Anne Haskins' book is. We've told about Brenda Gant and how wonderful her cooking show is. And Roll Tide, we love you too. I love y'all. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. Anyways, let's see. Let me make sure. All right. Use your own judgment. Do not go by gossip and the majority. If you go by gossip and the majority, that's not saying much for you. I don't think so. Now, that's just my personal opinion. And I'm not judging you. I'm telling you flat out. When you judge somebody's work, they could bring a blurry photo or a blurry video of Bigfoot crashing out of the woods, and you'd say, it's not clear, we can't see it, it ain't real. Okay, so then they go get one, and they're trying to be brave, and they're standing in the middle of the mountains with it snowing outside, and they're trying to hit record just for you, because you ain't gonna believe them if they tell you what they caught. So they're standing there, and they're freezing cold, and they're shaking, and all of a sudden, you get a clear video of this thing, head to toe, all kind of details. And you bring it back, and they say, we still don't believe it. There ain't no Bigfoot. That ain't real. Well, see, it's not saying much for you because you've had both sides. Stinky video and picture, clear video and picture. And what do? And you're going with the majority. You're not using your own judgment. Put in the work. Go to TV. Watch the channels I told you about. And then, 40 hours later, after you have sat there, paused, analyzed, zoomed in, detailed, after you have analyzed these videos and pictures, like this old girl has, then you'll see what I mean. There's no way that a human body, no matter how many muscles they've got, how many hours they spend in the gym, whether they're on or not, I'm just telling you, they can't get in the position physique-wise as some of these Bigfoot. All right. So, stop the judging, and do your homework, and you'll see what I mean. All right. If anybody on my channel, male, female, whatever, wants to call or message and ask for my, well, you got my email, CWLENAGARRETT @gmail.com. Celena Garrett. Yeah, let me make sure I got that right. Okay, CW Lena Garrett. There it is. CW Lena LENA Garrett GARRETT @gmail.com. That's my email. If you see or want to share anything that you have experienced or went through, you can't understand it, you can't make sense of it, I know. Lord knows I know. If you don't want to reach out to me, reach out to some of these people that I've told you about. They've not given me any reason so far to not mention their name. And I'm just going to say, I really, really do spend a lot of time watching these people. The other one that disappointed me, I still can't believe that. Still can't believe it. And it took him saying something extremely judgmental for me to take his name off my channels. Anyways, okay. So, but I'm going to pray for him. Anyways, just wanted to make sure y'all knew that I missed y'all so much when I was out sick. God, I missed y'all so much. All right, so you know how much I appreciate you, and you know all you have to do is just reach out. The channels again: NVTV Bigfoot, Realize is the channel. I don't think they add TV to the bottom of behind the name Realize. Y'all need to be watching Realize, NVTV Bigfoot, and Maximum Fear. These are just three. I'll get you some more. I'm just making sure I covered all this. All right. Oh yeah, here it goes. All right. This was strictly just something that popped in my mind. I have an uncle, and my uncle is one of these men. He's a mechanic, very strong, very, very smart, just always real tough man, real tough man. And I remember when I was a kid, and it was that way all as I grew up. I watched him. You know how you watch your uncles and your aunts and your grandparents and how they interact and react and handle things and respond to things. And anyways, but I watched him and I thought, this uncle is extremely, and there's a word for it. So I don't want you, I'm not making fun of him. I think he's an exceptional person, and I love my Uncle Bob. Anyways, but he's extremely hairy, manly man, hairy. And I thought to myself, now that I'm older, that I've never seen a human except for, when they did shows. I guess years ago when they did shows and circuses and stuff, they had hairy people on there because they didn't understand that there's conditions and some people have more hair than others, and men wise and women. And anyways, so I remember as a kid, I thought, my gosh, he is so hairy. He was a big tough uncle. I mean, did everything tough as nails. But yet he had hair front to back all over him, just real thick hair, like what we would say abnormally thick, because the guys these days shave their legs and their backs and their everything. So they just do all those things that takes their hair off right quick. What do you call them? Those strips or that sticky stuff, and they do that thing where they take their hair off to bodybuilders and stuff will take their hair off. But anyways. Well, you just didn't hear nothing like men in those days shaving. And so now that I'm older, I thought to myself, the only thing that my Uncle Bob does not have that these Bigfoots have is their height and their muscle. So think about that for a minute. There are men out there that's not missing but about two qualities of this Bigfoot, okay, or these Bigfoots. And think about it for just a second. If my Uncle Bob could be that tough of a guy and have that much hair front to back, for all over his back, and I mean everywhere. And the only thing missing is some height and some muscle. What about that can you not believe? And if a gorilla can weigh 500 pounds and kill somebody and crush them with one hand, then what about somebody a little taller, a little bigger? See, because gorillas are huge, muscle wise. So the only thing missing is their height. What about that can y'all not comprehend? And I know people says now, Celena, you're trying to force this issue on us. No, I'm not. You're watching this channel at your own free will. And second of all, I just think my friends and my acquaintances have a little more intelligence than some of these people. So yes, I gave you a compliment. And I think that some people just hadn't put enough thought into it. Like, for instance, if somebody would have said just the right thing to me, maybe it would have made me believe in him earlier, or, maybe I'd have watched videos earlier. But if I would have had what Todd Standing had happened to him in the dark, he didn't have but a little light. This thing, oh my God, they kept crowding, coming closer and closer. And he was thinking he might get lucky and get a shot from a distance. This thing moved in so close, it was almost like it was standing right in front of him. Moved into Todd Standing's camp, yelled out a growl that would scare 50 grown men. I mean, it was so deep. Y'all need to watch his videos because Dr. Jeff Meldrum's on there too, and he is one of my favorite doctors, anyways, scientists. And he believes firmly that there's Bigfoots out there. I just think that people wanted him to go and say it to the public in a way that his bosses wanted him not to. So I think that the people that are judging him without knowing, they probably threatened his job and, all kind of things they had worked so hard for, him and his family. I don't know if he has grandkids, but I do know he probably has children. If that's the case, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, I am standing behind you, because there's certain people, we all have bosses, and there's certain people who just are under somebody's foot. And Dr. Jeff Meldrum has bosses too. And I'm sure that they told him, do not go public with this just yet, and threatened his job or something. And I think that people who judge him, it's not saying much about the people who's judging him. Let's put it like that. Not in my opinion, anyway. And I ain't judging nobody. I'm just telling you, quit judging people. Find out things for yourself. Don't sit and wait for people to drop things in your lap. Don't just shut the phone off and say, I don't believe Celena, she's full of bull. Go and watch these channels that I'm telling you to watch. And watch how hard these people work. They get out there and spend days and days and days in the dirt, up under a tent, sleeping on hard grounds, just to get us some pictures and videos, because we don't believe the last one that they posted. Well, it finally happened to me, so you'd be calling me a liar too. So if you are, keep it to yourself. All right. So, all right. If you have anything that you want to tell me and you're reluctant to tell anybody, you can reach out. I promise not to judge you. If there's anybody on the face of this earth that's not going to judge anybody else, it's going to be me. Because all my life, I was not kidding. The black sheep of the family. Anyways, I'm just telling you, I was the one that everybody said, anyways, I should have wore Scarlet A and all that kind of stuff. I was the one. So, and I did. I needed to wear about 29,000 Scarlet A's, and I was the worst of the worst as far as being the lowest of the low. But now that's the first part of my life. Let me tell you about the second part. I want to laugh. I want to be joyful. I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, and I don't care if I did just say that on a Bigfoot show. I believe in him. So his name's going to get mentioned on my channel. If you don't want to watch it, don't tune in. If you do, you won't regret it. I love y'all so much. Sandra and Deanna and Mike and Charlie and all these precious people that has tuned in. I love y'all.